Global electric car sales have shattered records in November, thanks, of course, to China's unstoppable growth. The Chinese car market has grown this year, and it will hit more than 30 million sales, meaning actually that's more than 35% of the global car market. But as a result, EV sales continue to increase significantly worldwide. This is much to the chagrin of the traditional media, basically brainwash people into thinking that EV sales are actually going in the reverse direction. They're slowing down. Obviously, this is an intentional attempt to actually make people think they're not in demand, so you shouldn't buy one. People are not doing it, so you shouldn't either. Kind of strike the fear of God into them so that they won't buy an EV, so that they won't be disrupted. However, well, we're here. Geely, BYD, Leapmotor, numerous car brands, XPeng, are hitting record sales numbers, and legacy automaker sales numbers are declining at the fastest pace in decades. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. The Chinese market now accounts for over 70% of global EV sales year to date in 2024. North America's sales of EVs have actually grown. Contrary to bullshit media reports, they've grown by 10% this year. Automakers are navigating shifting electrification strategies. Some of them, you know what, logically speaking, are doing this. Some Chinese manufacturers are saying, well, you're basically banning our EVs in Europe, not banning them, but you're putting these huge tariffs on them. But that means we'll just sell you plug-in hybrids because they don't have tariffs. So that's kind of an intelligent thing to do, wouldn't you say? But the global electric vehicle market is growing steadily, regardless of who's telling you whatever they're telling you. November 2024 set yet another sales record with 1.8 million electric cars sold worldwide, bringing the year-to-date total to an incredible 15.2 million. According to market research firm Rowmotion, November was the third consecutive month of record-breaking EV sales, with an additional 100,000 units sold compared to October's previous high. This represents a sharp 32% leap from November of 2023. 32% growth is certainly not a decline. It's certainly not a slowdown either. Carscoops.com says that unsurprisingly, China continues to dominate the EV stage by a huge margin, with an astonishing 1.3 million units sold in November, accounting for nearly 70% of global sales. Much of this growth came from rising demand for models produced by Geely, Tesla, Chang'an, and Leapmotor. Also XPeng as well, who are setting record sales numbers month after month, along with companies owned by Geely, including Zeekr. Other companies like Leapmotor as well are setting record sales numbers. Between January and November of 2024, China's EV sales soared by 40% year over year, reaching a remarkable 9.7 million units and dwarfing sales in all other regions. The global tally of 15.2 million EVs sold between January and November 2024 represents a 25% increase compared to the same period last year. So, yes, Europe is moving away from electric cars. They are trying to slow down growth in EVs because they fear losing their entire automotive industry. As a result, governments have slashed EV subsidies, except for in France, where they only give EV subsidies really to French cars. But other than that, EV subsidies have pretty much been eliminated all across Europe. And as a result, electric car sales have definitely declined this year. However, breaking this down, China was still followed by the European Union, including plus EFTA, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Switzerland, and the UK at 2.7 million, which is a decline of minus 3%. The US and Canada was 1.6 million, plus 10%, and the rest of the world contributed 1.1 million, plus 25%. So even if let's just exclude the US and Canada, and where sales have increased 10%, and Europe and the UK, where sales have declined by 3%, the rest of the world, not including China, is up 25%. So a lot of countries, Thailand, for example, many countries' EV sales have skyrocketed, not just China. In Europe, major markets like Germany, France, and Italy are experiencing a slowdown, with year-to-date sales shrinking by 3%. And there's a lot of fear and paranoia now in those countries. For example, Many within French unions and French automotive industry are basically just getting involved in these ridiculous slugging matches, slagging out Tesla vehicles because they are using structural batteries and gigacasting, and just trying to come up with anything they can do to slow down competitors' growth. The UK stands out as an exception, posting a 17% increase in sales thanks to stronger demand in the second half of 2024. Across the Atlantic, the US and Canada have maintained a steady 10% increase in EV sales year to date, totaling 1.6 million units sold so far. Donald Trump's recent election victory could trigger a year-end rush for zero-emission vehicles, as buyers are concerned that the Trump administration could end the $7,500 tax credit. So, it is very possible that could happen. So there could be a significant increase in EV sales over the month of December in particular. Charles Lester, data manager at Romotion, said this quarter has picked up significantly for EV sales globally as we see record-breaking month after record-breaking month. And as you guys know, who are regular subscribers, regular watchers of the channel, I've mentioned this at least 100 times this year. EV sales would skyrocket in October, November, and December, thanks predominantly to the Chinese car market always being more than double its sales in the first 3 months of the year. The regional picture is somewhat uneven, with Europe shrinking 3% this year. And of course, once more, that means China accounts for more than 2/3 of electric vehicles sold in November. This also gives China a huge advantage over the rest of the world, because as they increase production, the cost for them to manufacture an EV decreases. Moore's law. Increased production, every doubling in production, costs approximately decline by around 20%. So this is exactly what China is doing. They're reducing their costs. Recent reports say that BYD, it costs them more than 30% less to manufacture a car than legacy automakers. And as BYD make more cars, their cost goes down. As legacy automakers make less cars, in particular less EVs, their costs actually will increase. And that's one of the reasons why. It's so baffling. Why are GM, Ford, and the Volkswagen and everyone else, why are they all making a loss on every electric car they sell? Well, that pretty much sums it up. This year, though, has been a great one for EVs, regardless of what the media is trying to tell us. So, if you've got a friend who believes that EV sales are declining, or believes in some sort of nonsense the media are, basically fabricating because they are funded primarily by fossil fuel interests, whether that be legacy auto or advertisers who advertise on their site, please share this video with them. If they say something negative in the comments, I honestly could not care less. Thanks for watching.